I used the 4-step system to help 2 brand new businesses get $50,000 in funding each without tax returns, collateral, or business history. They used that funding to cover the cost of joining my program and to launch their marketing campaigns at 0% APR so they could scale their business without touching their own cash. Now, most people think that you need years of business history, perfect financials, or some miracle to get serious business funding. And that's completely false. The truth is, there is a step-by-step system that top funding companies use to get their own clients approved for $50,000 to $150,000 in business credit, even with brand new LLCs. And I'm about to break down the exact 4-step system we use, including the bank sequences that practically guarantees approval, even if your LLC was just formed. So grab a pen, because in the next 8 minutes, you're getting the complete blueprint that turns a brand new LLC into a funding machine. By the way, my name is Clarissa, and I'm Javi's partner both in life and in business. Together, we have helped over 400 credit repair and funding companies scale past $50,000 a month, using the same systems that we use to grow our own company to 7 figures. In this video, I'm breaking down the exact 4-step system that we use to help our clients get $50,000 to $150,000 of 0% business credit, even with a brand new LLC. So they can fund their own business, join our program, and cover their marketing expenses without using their personal cash. Now, this is where 90% of the people fail before they even start. Now, my clients already had their LLC created and everything was structured already properly. We had some minor things to adjust. But if you have to create the LLC for your own clients, you have to make sure that you're not just filling it out like if it was paperwork, but you're building an actual funding vehicle. Your LLC isn't just a legal document, it's the foundation of your funding empire, and every single detail matters to the banks. So here exactly what you need to do if you have to create the LLC from scratch. You can use websites like bz.com for your articles of organization. I wouldn't recommend using LegalZoom or some other random site. Business address. You shouldn't be using your home address. You can use it. You can purchase it from anytimemailbox.com. This one will odds by 40%. But make sure that when you're purchasing it, you are buying a address that doesn't look like a PO box when you're researching online. Make sure that it's a building. Next, you need to Google voice number and your business email and get your EIN from the IRS.gov. And do it in that specific order. The sequence matters for how your business shows up in the database the lenders pull from. Okay. Now, your personal credit is everything when you're starting with a brand new LLC. And here are the bare minimum standards that you have to look out for. 100% payment history. Under 10% of utilization should have some utilization in your credit card. They shouldn't be completely at zero. At least 2 years of history, no more than 3 hard inquiries per bureau, and 3 to 5 accounts with limits over $5,000. But it's not just about good credit. It's about having the right mix of credit that mirrors a business level spending. So if your personal credit isn't dialed in, you're not going to get too far. Here's where the real leverage begins. Most people apply for business credit cards randomly, but we use what we call strategic banking sequence. 3 banks in a specific order that nearly guarantees at least $50,000 in approvals. Normally, bank number 1 would be Chase, which normally gives you up to $100,000 and it pulls from experience. Bank number 2 is US Bank, which is powered by Elam Financial and pulls from TransUnion. And bank number 3, if applicable, if it's in that state, Truist Bank, which gives up to $25,000 and pulls from Equifax. But don't do it just randomly. You need to open first a checking and savings account first, depositing some money, up to $5,000. The more, the better, and build this relationship. Make a couple of transactions, wait a couple of weeks, and then you can do the application. So because the banks want to lend to customers and not to strangers. Now, I want to show you what we actually did for each one of these 2 clients that I'm talking about. Okay, so I want to show you exactly the strategy that we have used for these 2 specific clients. So as you can see here, I'm just covering some information for privacy purposes. But remember, I just told you, normally the sequence that we want to follow is Chase first, US Bank, and Truist if they have it available. Of course, it's not always going to be the same exact thing because sometimes some clients have better relationship with other banks, so it's better to go to a different bank before, or maybe that bank specifically is not available in their state. So I want to give you the example for these two clients and what we did. For this client, he had a decent amount of revenue that he was collecting on a monthly basis in his business, around average $15,000 to $20,000 a month. So the first thing that we did is to approve him for a revenue business line of credit, because one doesn't affect the personal credit whatsoever. It does not do a hard pull. So this one is a line of credit that now the client can use whenever he needs it. And every time that he pays it back, he has it available again. And this one, again, it doesn't affect whatsoever the funding sequence because it doesn't do any type of hard pull. But it's a good strategy to have because now the client, while we're seasoning the bank account, while we're waiting to remove some increase, paying down some utilization, which we had to do with this specific client to get him approved, he got an approval. He got something, right? So he can be happy and he can wait while we do everything else. Now, we still have some things that are pending for this client, but as you can see, what we did is we did an application with Chase for the income limited. We submitted this application with our business relationship manager, and he got approved just off of this one card. He got $40,000 at 0% interest, with a couple of banks that are still pending, that we're still waiting on getting a response from. But just off of these two applications, we already have $50,000 of funding that this client can use for their business. The next client instead, we prioritized Chase because Chase is a bank that is increase sensitive. So we wanted to make sure that before he did anything else, he applied for Chase specifically because of the amount of increase he already had. He already had one increase on Experian. So we wanted to make sure that before he did any other applications, we applied for Chase first. With Chase, and we did, again, a bank relationship manager application, and he got approved for $15,000 at 0% for 12 months. Next, this client did not have he didn't have a choice available in his state, so it wasn't an option for us. For US Bank, you would need to have before a bank account seasoned for about a month or two and with some decent amount of money in it. So we didn't do it for this specific client. He didn't have a huge amount of money deposit and he didn't have the luxury of waiting 2 months to get approved. So this one would be something that we would do on a second round of funding by liquidating some of these credit cards that he got here so that he can season the account with the bank, with US Bank, and then do that application. So since Chase, we did it. US Bank, we couldn't because we couldn't season the account and we couldn't wait that long. Truist wasn't available in his specific state. So what we did, since he already had a good relationship with Amex on the personal side, what we did is that we did 2 Amex applications back to back for $25,000 each. This one was a simple online application, and this one did not do a hard pull because when you already are a Amex customer, you're not getting a hard pull for any future products that you afford. With this client, we got $50,000 just off of Amex and $50,000 for Chase, with only 2 increase for Experian and TransUnion, because unfortunately Chase, for his specific state, they did pull from both of them. So as you can see, like anytime you watch a YouTube video that they tell you like the strategy or the sequence of what you're supposed to be applying for is always going to be changing depending on your client's specific situation. Now, for all of my clients inside of our community, we always give them videos on each one of the clients that we fulfill on, so they can have real examples of how we normally change our strategies around depending on the client's profile. This last piece, most people skip it, and is how you apply matters as much as what you apply for. Online applications normally go through bots that look for reasons to deny you. In-person bankers look for reason to approve you. Now, I've seen the same applications getting denied online and approved for $75,000 in branch. Why? Because a banker pushes it through underwriting directly. When you sit down with a business banker, you're no longer just data in a system. You're a person that they can vouch for. Of course, this is going to change depending on the bank that you are applying for. If you're going for an Elan Financial Bank or an Amex Bank, online applications are fine. The majority of all the other banks and in-person applications will always be your best bet unless you have a bank relationship manager that you can send the applications to. So there you have it. The same system that we use to help two clients get approved for $50,000 each to cover the cost of joining our program and to fund their marketing at 0% interest. Now imagine what you could do for your own clients, because let's be honest, getting access to funding is only half the battle. What really changes everything is having the right systems. Your structure, your credit profile, your marketing, and your sales all working together. And that's exactly what we do. If you want to work with a coaching company that doesn't just help you make money, but helps you first get interest-free money to join and scale with them, then click the link below and book a call with my team. We'll walk you through how to get approved for 0% interest business credit and then show you how to use it to build a predictable funding business. The link is in the description. Click now and let's get your business funded and ready to scale.